Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through all levels yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes. So just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches are not working for you, you can always skip them, come out and modify. And for your practice today, I'd love to have a yoga mat and a block and a blanket. So the block and the blanket, if you don't have it, that's okay. But if you can easily grab a block or blanket, that would be great. And that's just going to be a nice support through the practice. But if you don't have it, it's no biggie. You just can kind of work around that. So today, let's start in a seated centering. So we'll just give ourselves some time to find a comfortable seat and give us that opportunity to drop into the yoga practice. And as we take seated, if it feels comfortable in your knees, you can cross your legs. You can always extend your legs out in front of you. And if you did have that block or blanket, you can always sit on the edge of it. And that will just help to lift your hips up a little higher than your knees. So it takes a bit of pressure off of your knees. It also helps to roll your pelvis forward a little bit too. So you get a little hip opener that can also take some pressure off of the knees. And it also helps to elongate the spine. So we can just be a bit rounded sometimes. So this will just help to lengthen the spine and just lots of benefits to this pose. We call this one Sukhasana, the easy seat, the happy seat. So as we start today, I came across a passage. It's about meditation, but I think it ties in nicely to the yoga practice. And we do practice meditation in our yoga class. So I thought I would share it. So the Buddha was asked, "What have you gained from meditation?" And he replied, "Nothing." Then he continued, "However, let me tell you all the things that I've lost: anxiety, anger, depression, insecurity, and fear of old age and death." And I just thought that that was, really powerful. And I think the same thing with yoga. I feel the more I practice yoga, the more I feel a little bit less afraid of all the things going on in the world. I kind of just trust in the process of life. And, they say that change is the only thing that we can really count on, the only thing that's guaranteed in life. So, when there are those things like anxiety or anger or depression, I just kind of ride it like a wave. I know that, it's not going to last forever. Some things come, some things go. And I think that's a really great gift that yoga and meditation give us. So as we start today, let's take that seated position and give yourself a moment to close your eyes, just letting you drop in and center in this moment. So we'll just begin to gently notice your connection to the mat. So we'll just notice the edges of legs and the edges of the feet. And then grounding through the sitting bones, begin to lengthen your spine. Lengthen the back of your neck. Reach and stretch through the crown of the head. And then drop in and connect to the rise and the fall of the breath. Lengthening as you inhale and lengthening as you exhale. So maybe imagining a wave for a moment, how a wave rises and falls on the beach. So as you breathe in, almost imagine that a wave flows up your body. So we inhale, the wave flows up the body. And then as you exhale, feel this wave flushing down your body. Breathing in, let's feel that wave flowing up the body. And then on the exhale, feel this wave flowing down your body. And then just taking a moment here to simply link your breath and ocean waves. If you would like, set an intention for your practice. And intention could be anything that you'd like it to be. It might be that you want to give yourself this time to relax and recharge. It might be that you want to push yourself in stretches and try to get the best stretch in each pose that you can. So there's no right and there's no wrong intention. Let's begin with a gentle release for the neck. So starting by lowering your right hand down to the side of you, we'll bring our left hand up and over. Reach for the right side of your head. Take a full breath here to lengthen, and then soften your left ear to your left shoulder. And just trying to not move with force on this one, just a nice gentle suggestion of the ear to the shoulder. We're going to float ourselves back on up to neutral. Left hand lowers, right hand rises up and over. Take a full breath here to lengthen and release. And back on through to center. We're going to realign here and then gently gazing to the underarm area. So we're going to gaze down to the ground, off to the left side. And then gently using that left hand to draw you into a neck release. And then just trying not to move with force on this one. It's just a nice, gentle suggestion. And then back on through to neutral. We'll realign here. Gaze off to the right underarm and then let your hand guide you into that stretch. And release. Let's put ourselves back and through to neutral. We're going to take our hands up and overhead and reach for opposite elbows here. Take a full breath to lengthen. We will shift to the right and to the left. And then giving yourself a moment to pause. We can release off towards the left. Maybe rolling your left shoulder under, right shoulder rolls open, and feel that the heart is shining up to the sky. We'll come back to neutral. Let's take a nice full breath here to lengthen and release to the right. Breathing so deeply, almost imagine that you could create some space in between the ribs. Bring yourself back on through to neutral. Let's take it forward into table. And as you come into table, you may want to grab a blanket to pad your knees. So we will take our knees, our hips in line. We'll take our wrists, our shoulders in line. And feel the fingers fan wide. So we will press down through the index finger and press down through the thumb. Working with our shoulders a little bit, we'll take a flow for threads and needle. So on this one, let's bring that right hand up to the sky. Nice full breath in. Floating the arm underneath your body and just gently relaxing your head down for a moment. Engage your core. Let's bring that hand back on up to the sky. Full breath in. And float the arm under. We are going to flow with the breath here. Let's try 3 more times to really open up the shoulder. This one is also really great for getting into the side of your neck. We're going to stretch out through our shoulder blade, give the triceps a nice stretch. And then when this feels complete, let's give ourselves a moment to pause. So you can relax your arm down. And we're just going to find that nice comfortable gaze. So just finding a spot to focus on, finding a drishti. And then staying here, if you wanted, you could straighten your left leg, have your toes curl under, maybe lifting your leg up if you would like, maybe hand to the sky. And there's also a variation where you take your hand to meet the foot if you wanted to try out a bind here. You can create a little sensation of kicking the foot into the hand to give yourself more of a back bend. Let's bring ourselves out of this one nice and slow. So knee down, hand down. And then as you ground into your left hand, let's take our right hand to the sky and begin to create circles. We'll find some movement here. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. Flow in the other direction. And release. Let's bring ourselves into tabletop. Lowering down the stomach. Let's lift up through the heart. We will take our tailbone down and then the crown of the head lowers down. Move with your breath for a moment. Try to lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, round your back. Imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming into a neutral spine here, let's bring our left hand to the sky. Nice full breath in. Float that left arm under. Gently relax the head down. Breathe in. Let's float our hand to the sky. Full breath in. And release. Let's go 3 more times with your breath. And then when that feels complete, let's relax the head down. We can take our shoulder down, staying here, maybe lifting your leg, maybe drawing the hand to the sky, and then maybe hand for the foot. You could take a bind here. And then creating that sensation of kicking the foot into the hand, breathing in and breathing out. Let's bring ourselves down. We're going to lower the hand down. We'll take our knee down. Let's float that left hand to the sky and begin to create some circles here. Maybe large, maybe small circles. Flow in the other direction. Reverse that movement. And reset. Let's bring ourselves back to table. Let's take our right hand to the sky. Float it up. Find your circles. And then flow in the other direction. And reset. Let's float ourselves back through table. Left hand rises. Find your circles. And reverse. Letting yourself back on through into table. Let's take a full breath here. Press back to down dog on exhale. And shake it out a little bit in your downward facing dog. Maybe bend one knee and the other knee and relax your head yes and no. Try to ground evenly in your hands, ground evenly through your feet. Feel the backs of your legs lengthening, sitting bones to sky, spine lengthens, head, neck relaxes and releases. Let's bring ourselves into plank, high push-up pose, lower down chaturanga. Let's come into an up dog here. So we are going to use our breath to breathe into a really nice low back bend. Down dog, breathe out and shake it out a little here. Bending one knee and the other. Relax your head yes and no. Bring it into a fold, top of the mat, toes to the hands. Shake it out a little bit here. Bend one knee and the other knee. Relax your head yes and relax your head no. As you come into stillness, let's take our hands to the right. We'll find a side stretch. Try to ground evenly through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. Back on through to center. Release to the other side. Reaching and stretching from the waist. Lengthen the side body, the arm, the fingertips. Come back through to center into a fold. Bring yourself to a half lift here. So we will lift our spine and lengthen our spine. Fold yourself down to the mat. Come on up. Let's rise. Hands at the heart as you exhale. Let's take our right foot for tree pose. We'll come into Vrikshasana. So for tree, you can be on your toes if you'd like. You can bring your foot anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable. We just don't want to place our foot right onto our knee joint. So below the knee or above the knee is fine. Find a drishti. Find that one spot to focus your concentration and focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift Oh, let's try warrior 3 from here. So as you're in tree pose, you can just take that right foot back. And then as you're aligning here, maybe have your hands at the heart space in prayer. You can take your arms alongside your body, maybe palms face down. Maybe reach and stretch your hands out in front of you. Let's come into crescent from here. We'll take our right foot back. Right heel is lifted and hands reach up to the sky. Try to feel that your right leg is really active. So we want to press out through the heel and the back of the knee. Try to feel that your leg is active, engaged, and energized. Springing off of your right foot, let's kick that right leg right on out in front of us. Try to have your heel in line with your hip, and we're gonna do a little pulse down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it into warrior 2 from here. Right foot back, front heel in lines with your back arch, shoulders over your hips, and feel yourself reaching forward and back. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Let's bring it through to a runner's lunge. Landing in a fold with your legs crossed, right foot to the upper left edge of your mat. Line your toes up, line your heels up, and fold over the fronts of the legs as you exhale. Maybe drawing your weight forward into your toes, sending your weight back into your heels, maybe shifting the weight to the right and to the left. Let's unwrap our legs for a forward fold. Bring yourself to your half lift. Fold yourself down to the earth. Come on up. We'll rise for mountain. Hands at the heart as you exhale. Left leg rises. We'll try tree on the other side. And as you come into tree, try to feel really grounded through all the parts of your right foot. Just think about how that tree has roots that ground down. So same thing. Imagine you could grow some roots from the bottom of your foot down into the yoga mat. And then just feel how stable you feel in the posture. Feel very grounded, aligned, and balanced. Let's try warrior 3 from here. You're gonna float that leg behind you. Imagine if you could see yourself from the side, trying to create a capital T shape with your body. So we tried to create this line that flows from our right heel to our right hip, and then long line from your left heel to the crown of the head. Crescent, let's float that foot back. And imagine if you could see yourself from behind. Try to create a line that flows from your heel to your hips. You want to feel this back leg very active, engaged, and energized. Let's begin to send that foot right out in front of us. We're going to give that leg a bit of a kick out in front. We're going to lower it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take it back for warrior 2 pose. Get really grounded in your feet. So almost imagine that you could pull your feet in towards one another. So legs are very active, engaged, and energized. Windmill the hands down. Let's put ourselves into our lunge. Left foot takes that big step to the upper right edge of your yoga mat. Land in your fold with your legs crossed. Line your toes up. Line your heels up. Fold over the fronts of the legs as you exhale. Shift your weight forward into your toes, back into your heels. Shift your weight to the right and shift your weight to the left. Let's release it. We're going to float ourselves back into our fold. You can give the legs a bit of a shake out here. Let's take our half lift. Lift your spine and lengthen your spine. Fold yourself down. We're going to come on up. Let's rise into mountain pose. We'll take our hands at our heart as you exhale. Working with dancing Shiva. Right knee comes up and into the chest and into the stomach. So you can interlock your fingers, reach for the front of the knee, pull it in. And if this is feeling really challenging, maybe kind of just playing with the idea of lifting that foot off of the yoga mat. Staying here, option 2, try for a hip opener. So you can just open up that right knee to the right. Left hand can float to the left. Maybe take the index and your thumb to touch, coming into a mudra, and then gazing off your left fingertips. Engage your core. Let's bring ourselves to center. We can take our knee to our chest. Now let's take that right knee to the left. Give yourself a twist and an IT band stretch. Maybe right hand to the right, finding that mudra where your index and thumb come together, the pads of the fingers touch. And release. We're going to hug that knee back on up into the chest and into the stomach, and step back for warrior 1 pose from here. So for warrior 1, right foot back, right heel lowers down to the mat. We'll have our back foot at a 45-degree angle. Have that nice deep bend in your front knee. Feel your back heel grounded. This is going to help you get a little bit more calf stretch and hamstring stretch. So nice stretch for the backs of your legs. Let's try a tricep stretch here. So we're going to take our right hand down our back, and then left hand will draw you into the stretch. Try to encourage your right shoulder forward and right hip forward, and then left hip and left shoulder back. Let's bring our hand to the sky. Full breath here. Left hand floats down your back. Try to relax your shoulders from your ears. Hands to the sky. Let's breathe in here. Warrior 1. We call this one Virabhadrasana Eka. We'll take warrior 2 as you exhale. So we're going to open off to the right. Line your front heel with your back arch. Let your shoulders be over your hips. Feel your hands reach forward and back. Let's take reverse warrior 2 pose from here. Back hand can glide down your back leg. Maybe wrap your arm around your low back and reach for the other hip crease. Take a half bind here. Bring yourself through. Let's try lateral angle. So you can windmill down, arm to your leg, maybe hands down to the mat. And as you're here, let's try to create a bit of a twisting sensation. So we want to roll our right shoulder back, right hip back, left hip under, left shoulder under. Core engages. Warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Let's bring our front hand up and back. Reverse triangle stretch. And reach and stretch from your left waist. Let's try to lengthen that whole side body, arm and fingertips. Great. Let's come back onto to neutral. We're going to try pyramid from here. So pyramid, right foot will take a hop forward, not all the way to the top of the mat, but a little bit of a hop forward. Have your right toes turned up the mat. Try to square your hips and your shoulders forward. Hands to the sky as you breathe in. Fold yourself down as you breathe out. And then maybe playing with the weight in the feet. Maybe draw your weight forward into your toes, lifting your left hip up a little bit. Maybe drawing your right hip forward and then pulling the left hip back slightly. Grounding into your right hand. Let's bring our left hand to the sky on exhale. Take a twist. And then as you're twisting here with your in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. Out-breath, let your twist deepen. Staying here, if you want to challenge, you're going to hold the shape of the pose and then right leg will lift up. You can try to lift that leg as high up as possible. This brings us into a revolved balancing half moon pose. Let's transition to standing split. So both of the hands down, right leg up to the sky. Gaze to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. Let's come into warrior 2 from here. Right foot back. Line your heel in line with your arch. Shoulders are over your hips. Feel yourself reach forward and back. Let's windmill the hands down. Float yourself to a runner's lunge. Bring your left foot to the left edge of your mat. Right foot takes a big step forward to the upper right edge of your mat. Staying here in a fold with your legs wide. Option to try out Yogi Squat if you like. For Yogi Squat, sometimes the wider the feet, the easier the stretch. Have your toes turn out. We want our toes to be in the same direction as our knees. Send your weight back into your heels, let your toes be light and almost a feeling like your toes could lift from the mat. Let's bring ourselves back on through into a fold. We'll take our feet in line with our hips. Half lift here, forward fold. Come on up, let's rise for mountain. Hands at the heart, breathe out. Let's take our left leg up for dancing Shiva. Fingers interlock, reach for the front of the knee. Pull your knee into your stomach and into your chest. So try to use a little bit of arm strength and a little shoulder strength here. So really activate those arms. Left knee to the left, right hand to the right. Get a little hip stretch here. Really good for your low back. Back to center. Let's take our twist. So we'll take our left knee to the right. And then you can gaze off the left fingertips. Maybe the pads of the fingers coming together for chin mudra. Relaxing your left shoulder from your left ear. Let's bring ourselves back to center. You can take your knee to your chest. Give it a nice little hug in. We're going to step that left foot back to warrior one pose. And then as you're grounding here in your feet, hands to the sky with the in-breath. Feel the arms framing your ears. Try to feel that the shoulders are over the hips as well. Sometimes we're leaning forward a little bit, so we just want to stack our shoulders over our hips. Feel your palms face one another. Breathe in and out. We'll take our left hand down our back. Right hand can draw you into the shoulder stretch. Feel the core engage, tailbone tuck, navel back and up to the spine slightly. Hands to the sky, full breath in. Left hand floats down when you're ready, or opposite hand floats down when you're ready. Sorry about that. Try to square the hips and shoulders forward. Breathe in and out. Hands sweep up, full breath here. Let's take warrior two and out breath. Again, adjusting your feet, maybe wider stance here. Gaze off the front fingertips. Give yourself a stretch on the left side of your neck. Reverse, bring it up and back. Try to reach and stretch from the waist. Lengthen your side body, the arm, the fingertips. Come on through. Let's take it down to a lateral angle. Extended lateral angle, lowering the hand down to the mat. Core engages, bring it up. Warrior two. We'll straighten our front leg, front hand up, front hand back, reverse triangle. Neutral and bringing it through into pyramid. So hopping that left foot forward. Hips and shoulders square forward. Think about your feet like train tracks. So have foot in line with your hip versus a tightrope. So we don't want our heels in one line. We want there to be a bit of distance between the feet. Hands to the sky, breathe in, fold down, breathe out. And this pose is also called intense side stretch pose. So just notice in your body where you're feeling the stretch. And then breathe into it. Maybe feeling the stretch through the backs of your legs, maybe through the low back, maybe through the back of the neck as you let your head relax and release. Right hand to the sky and exhale. Let's take a twist. And then as you're twisting here, lengthen your spine on your in-breath. Let your twist deepen on the out-breath. Left leg can rise if you wanted to try that out. So this brings us into that revolve, balancing half moon pose. Hanging out here, if you wanted to build on it even more, right hand for your left foot, you could take a bind, coming into twisted sugar cane. Standing split, so both of the hands down to the ground, left leg to the sky. Looking to the wall behind you, taking the gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. Let's bring it through to runner's lunge. Right foot walks to the right edge of the mat. Both hands to the inside of the foot. Left foot takes that big step forward, landing in a fold with your legs wide. Option to stay here. Maybe try out Yogi Squat. Call this one Malasana and Garland's pose. So if you need to modify on this one, you can take a rolled up blanket and place it underneath your heels. And you can also have your yoga block and you can always sit on that too. And our blocks have 3 heights, so smallest, medium, and high. Let's try a twist. We'll take our right hand to the right. Try to have your arm inside the leg to give you a little bit more hip opener. Left hand to the sky, breathe in. And out. Let's reset back to Yogi Squat. Left hand to the left, right hand rises up. Rolling that right shoulder back, left shoulder out, open and under. Releasing back to Yogi Squat. Let's bring it through into our fold. Draw your feet in line with your hips and shake it out a little bit here. Bend your knees and relax your head, yes and no. Let's take ourselves to a half lift. Hold yourself down. Let's come it up. We'll rise for mountain. Hands at your heart as you exhale. Let's take a nice side stretch. So for this one, hands will reach up and we'll take our right hand for our left wrist. You're just going to kind of grab onto that wrist. And then bring your left foot to the right. And we are going to cross our legs. Lengthen your spine and release your hands to the right. Maybe rolling the right shoulder or left shoulder back, right shoulder under. Keeping the legs how they are. We're going to come back to center. We'll just change up the grip in the hands. Release to the left. Try to feel your right hip pressing to the right and just move you deeper into the stretch. Back on through to center. Releasing your hands. Doing a reset on your feet. Let's try that on the other side. Hands to the sky. Breathe in. Left hand for your right wrist, right foot to the left. Lengthen, release to the left. Try to ground evenly through both of your feet. Back to center, change up the grip in the hands, release to the right. Good, let's bring it back to center. We'll do a reset on the hands, reset on our feet. Let's bring our hands to the sky as you inhale. Fold yourself down to the mat as you exhale. Let's take ourselves into a half lift here. Float yourself to plank, high push-up pose. Lower it down, chaturanga. We'll come to an up dog here. Let's try to open the chest and open up the heart space. Press back to down dog as you exhale. Bringing your knees down onto the mat. Sweep your feet to the right or the left. We'll come into seated pose. And then as you come to seated, extending your legs in front of you, flexing your feet, pressing through the heels and the backs of the knees. This one is Dandasana and Staff's pose. Take a full breath here to lengthen, and let's fold ourselves down as you exhale. And then as you're folding here, try to relax the eyebrows, relax your jaw. Try to let go of tension through the back of your head and the back of your neck. Relax through the shoulders, the arms, the hands. And then relaxing the upper, mid, and low back. And then relaxing through the legs, relaxing through the feet. Coming on up to neutral, let's flow on up through our spine, one vertebrae at a time. And from here, we're gonna make our way down onto our backs. And I'd love to work with a really nice hip stretch and a nice leg stretch. So I will demo the pose quickly, and then I'll walk you through it slowly, step by step, just because alignment for the second part is important. So first step will be to create a figure 4 stretch, and you're just going to cross your left leg over, almost like imagining you're sitting at a couch or something like that. So just crossing the leg over, creating a 4 shape. And you can stay here. Reach for the back of your leg or the front of your leg. We are going to stay here for a moment. And then the second part of the stretch is to lift your right leg up to a 90-degree angle, drawing everything off to the right. And then maybe pressing down to your left foot. We're going to lift our right hip up and kind of scoot it under us to the other side of the yoga mat. Try to have your left foot planted, have your right leg in a 90-degree angle. And to intensify the stretch, you can press your knee that's in the air away from your face. And you can also take the knee that's on the ground and you can slide it up to your face too. So you're going to get a great IT band stretch. It's nice into the waist and into the hips. So let's try that together. And again, we'll just go slowly, step by step. Let's start with our left leg. So we'll bring our left leg up and over. Create that figure 4 stretch. Decide where you want to go with this one. So you may want to have your foot on the mat, maybe reach for the back of your leg, and maybe reach for the front of your leg. And there's also a variation where you take both of your arms around both of your legs. To deepen your stretch, you can flex your left foot and your right foot if that right foot's lifted. And that will just help to activate some different muscles in your legs, activate muscles in the knees. You can gently feel your left knee. You can press that away from your face. So energetically pressing it away or actually bringing your foot into the knee to press it away. And as you do that, that might give you a little bit of a deeper stretch in your hips. Let's try out the second part of the pose. So we're gonna release the legs. If we were holding on, take your right leg to a 90-degree angle. Try to keep your legs in this shape. We are going to drop everything off to the right. And then as you ground into your left foot, try to lift your right hip up and try to scoot your right hip to the left side of your yoga mat. Almost like give us a gentle twist. And then as you're settling here, just try to have your left foot planted. Have your right leg in a 90-degree angle. And you can intensify your stretch by taking the knee that's in the air, that would be our left knee, and you can press that knee away from your face. And then that knee that's on the ground, you can slide that knee up towards your face to get more stretch. And we will just be here for a moment. So try to breathe into the stretch. So this part of the stretch is great for getting into the IT band. You might get a really nice stretch into your left hip. And we'll begin to release. And to come on out on the side, let's take a happy baby stretch. You can reach for your feet, flex your feet, rock to the right, and rock to the left. Let's try it on the other side. So let's bring our right leg up and over. We'll find our figure 4 stretch. Staying where you're at, so foot on the ground, reach for the back of your leg, maybe reach for the front of your leg, or take both of the arms around both of your legs. You can flex your feet. Maybe press your right knee away from your face. And this is going to be a wonderful stretch for your hips and legs and your low back. This is one of the best stretches if you ever experience sciatica or sciatic pain. This will really help to take pressure off of the nerve, bring circulation, get the blood flowing to all those muscles and attachments. Let's try the second part of our stretch. Left leg comes to that 90-degree angle. Try to keep everything in this position. Keep the legs in the shape. We are going to drop everything off to the left side of our yoga mat. You can press down into your right foot to lift your left hip up and try to scoot your left hip off to the right side of the room. Have your right foot planted down on the mat. Press your right knee away from your face. Maybe let your left knee glide up towards your face. And let your eyes close here and just simply notice. So it may feel easier to do the stretch on the side. It might feel more challenging to do the stretch on the side. So noticing that about your body, we have these natural movement patterns. We have natural inconsistencies from one side to the next. So just notice if this side feels more open or maybe it feels more closed. Let's begin to unwrap that pose and happy baby stretch. So you'll just reset yourself back onto your back, reach for your feet, flex your feet, reach through your heels, rock to the right and to the left. Take your knees to your chest from here, arms, hands around knees or shins, give them a nice little hug in, and rock to the right and rock to the left. And circles here. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And then flow in the other direction. And let's take some time to relax. We'll come into Shavasana, our resting pose of our practice. So maybe extending your legs along the mat, letting your toes roll out, heels shift in. If your low back is tight or tender, you can plant your feet. Have your feet at the edges of your yoga mat. Let your knees come in towards one another. So just gently take some pressure off the low back. You can let your palms face up. Gentle rotation in your shoulders. Closing your eyes and breathing here. And gently deepening your breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Coming onto your side, let's bring ourselves to a fetal pose. Creating a pillow with the lower arm, gently supporting your head. Feel your body, take the shape of the posture. Come on up. We'll bring ourselves into seated. As you come into seated, hands can move into the heart space in prayer in Anjali Mudra. Ending practice with gratitude, thinking of something in your life that you are truly grateful for. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining today. It's great to be here with you, share the gift of yoga with you. Have a wonderful day today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.